So, good evening, I'm back again, and I'm John, and tonight I'm doing a fans forum from the Oppo, who's the opposition, and I got Dylan with me, and I'm Dylan. How you doing, my guy? You good?
I'm not bad. I'm not bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely canny. Just had a long day, and at work I did 2 long runs today. I'm not best placed,
Oh yeah,
best about it sort of thing, like deliveries and stuff. So that's why I'm not going into work tomorrow. Just letting them know, just I'm not coming in. So they found someone great, but at the end of the day, I'll still be ground and let them know about it. So yeah, so
amazing.
that's for another year. So right, so if you do like my videos, please smash the like button, subscribe if you are new. Also follow Dylan on Twitter as well, and also if you've got a YouTube channel at all, Dylan.
Nah, no YouTube channel for me. Stick to
Oh,
Twitter.
oh, stick to Twitter. Best way to be at the minute, sort of thing. So there you go. So big up to the real ones of the building, and like I said, do smash the likes up and leave a comments in the sections down below. You know the drill. So Dylan, Fulham, you got promoted back into the Premier League via the playoffs against Brentford last season. Well done. With Joe Bryan got 2 goals, and it just hasn't happened, sort of thing. When you get back up and you haven't won enough games, what's made
Yeah,
you?
it's it's just been a bit of a bumpy ride, a roller coaster. I mean, we started the season against Arsenal with pretty much the same side that got us up.
Mhm.
We lost that game 3-0, a pretty convincing Arsenal victory, and so we made some signings throughout that sort of window, which finished in October. Obviously, sort of 4 or 5 games into the season, I think it was.
Mhm.
We bought Joachim Anderson from Lyon, Tosin Adarabioyo from Man City,
Yeah,
and Alphonse Areola from PSG on loan. And they were sort of
yeah.
the 3 signings that sort of transformed our back line, made us a bit more sturdy, and we did improve. But since we beat Liverpool away in March, it's
Mhm.
sort of all gone a bit wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, one more game to go before we go back down to the Championship.
I know the rough and tumble of the championship. I hate. I'm not being funny. Tuesday's a canny league, but I hate that league. We've been there twice ourselves. Luckily, we've come back up both times. And yeah, I mean, you made some canny signings. Aroba, Rola, it's a good keeper from PSG. I love your centre back. And Grieza, I think he's a talent. The guy's a
Yeah,
talent, and
big
I
talent.
love him. And Lookman as well on the attacking midfielder. You got Joe Bryan, you're going to come to in a minute, and you got some cracking players there. But 5 games you won, and that ain't enough for the Premier League.
No, 5 games isn't enough wins. We've had a lot of draws, and I think a lot of games which we've drawn
Mhm.
are ones we could have won, maybe with a different manager. I know Parker is still sort of learning the trade a little bit, but sometimes you think we're all over XY team. We should probably be winning this one, but we just haven't taken our opportunities. I think also
Mhm.
another part of the problem would be the fact we've obviously had 18 home games so far this season, and we've only scored nine goals. So that's
Yeah,
a goal every other game at home, which just isn't good enough in the Premier League. But
definitely
that is
not. I
that
mean,
is football. Yeah,
it is, but the fact of the matter is, it's just you're in the Premier League. It's such a brutal league. You got to be ready. You got to be well prepared for the Premier League. If you're not prepared for the Premier League, then you're going to struggle big style, especially when you come
yeah.
back up something. And I think Scott Parker should have got a decent forward sort of thing. So, got some comments there for you. You got any questions for Dylan? Please don't be shy. Just ask some questions, and he'd be happy to answer them. So, I got Paul, Eden, John, and Dylan. And how are you, Paul? Hope you okay? Bit of a long day, but there you go. Thomas, even John and Dylan. Is it Dylan or Dylan?
Dylan, yeah, Dylan.
I retired Bob Dylan, eh? So,
Yeah,
I got Bristol
yeah.
City fan, Ruda. He likes Fulham. Evening, guys. I got Thomas again. Dylan, question for you. Do you think Fulham will come straight back up?
It's difficult to say. I'd like to think we will, but it's never that easy. I
Yeah.
think I think I'm gonna say we will come straight back up because I think looking at the sides in the Championship at the moment, I do think we've got the budget and sort of the players already to get us back up. I know players are going to leave, but I think even sort of the bare bones would be a good sort of spine to build upon. So I think we'll come back up, but you do never know.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
Exactly. The thing is, you got some thing. If you look at the Championship there. You got Hull, Peterborough just come up. I hope Sunderland come up. I hope Lincoln or Blackpool do it, or Oxford even something. So because that Championship team is a tough league, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, anyone can beat anyone.
I totally
anyone, and no VAR either. So
and would be
any decision going for or against you.
Totally agree there, man. Totally agree. And that's Dylan's question. And I got Anuda, Joe Bryan, made in Bristol. What do you think of Joe Bryan? For me,
Joe Bryan, I love the guy. What a player. Yeah, really, really good left back. Very, very dependable, solid. Got a very good cross on him. Some questions over his defensive ability at the sort of the higher end of the game, but he did very well on Tuesday. He's got his first Premier League goal against Manchester United, assisted by another Bristol boy, Bobby Decordova-Reid. So he's them two have been probably two of my favourite players of this sort of like modern Fulham team, definitely this season. Dependable performers, I would say.
Sure. I mean, Bobby Reid used to play for Bristol City and also used to play up front, and now he's playing midfield. So.
Yeah, well, he goes all over the place for us. He's, I think, he's our top scorer this season, unless I'm completely missing somebody. But he's played at right wing back for us. He's played in midfield. He's played up front for us this season. So he's really, really versatile.
Sure, I like Joe Bryan. I really do. We was after him as well, man. Rafa Benitez wanted him as well, and he opted to join Fulham, which I'm quite surprised, really, because we needed a left back as well in the so solid sort of thing. And I got Bristol City fans all over because I live in Bristol at the moment in time, and can he defend that? Can he left back? And he plays wide as well. And I got Anuda. I love Joe Bryan. We need him back, please. Thanks. Or I'm Bobby Reid.
Oh, maybe one day, but not next season.
Nah. Can't see it happening, sort of thing. So, I mean, on to Fulham. Do you get any new stand fitted as well? Oh, yeah, Fulham.
Yeah, it should be ready for next season. So, about a year's time, I think it'll be ready to go. It's taken a little while longer than expected, I think, just probably due to the pandemic. But yeah, hopefully that'll be ready for a new Premier League season, and we'll be up to 30,000 attendance capacity.
Wow, that stadium's going to be absolutely fantastic when it's done up. I mean, it's a lovely stadium, Fulham. I mean, it's right by the banks of the Thames.
Yeah, it is right by the Thames. I think that is sort of the only stand we could get away with developing at the moment as well, just because the other two are attached to the Johnny Haynes stand, which I think is a listed building. So I don't think we can actually do anything to that one.
Wow. And how much is it going to cost you, Dylan?
I think it's been fairly pricey. Loads and loads of numbers have been floated around. I know Shahid Khan, the owner, he had to purchase sort of a section of the Thames to sort of build into, and that was 5 million. So I couldn't give you a number for how much the stand's going to cost, but I mean, you can imagine how much these sorts of things are expensive.
Wow, absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's nice to get new things done, and it's also nice to stay in your home stadium as well. You could have moved away, but you opted to stay.
Yeah, we've been there since, I think, 1896. We've been there since, so I don't want to see us leave anytime soon.
Wow, that's a long time. Absolutely fantastic. But let's hope he stays at Creighton College. And I've got Thomas here. Are Fulham fans allowed to go to the game? I can answer that a few, Thomas. Yes, they are. 10,000, I believe.
No, we've got 2,000 of us going, just because of the capacity. It's 10,000 is more than a quarter of our capacity, so we're only allowed 2,000 at the moment.
Oh, fair enough. I thought it was fans up to 10,000, but obviously my bad sort of thing.
No, I think it's a quarter of your capacity, or 10,000, whichever is less.
Right.
Just presumably just to keep people safe. I'll be there on Sunday afternoon. Hopefully seeing us win, but probably not.
Good for you. Well, if you're going to go to the games, just go for it, man. It's just you deserve it. Yeah. So I was going to touch on again Scotty Parker. So Scotty P, I know you wanted to steer, and I mean Spurs were after him as well last week. And do you think you're going to make an approach to Scott Parker, or do you think, in your opinion, he should stay at Fulham, get experience, or do you think he's good enough to go to Tottenham?
I think if Tottenham made an offer for him, that wouldn't stand in his way, because obviously it's a really great opportunity, and they sort of don't come around often, and you'd be stupid not to take it if it was offered to him. But I don't think he'd be quite ready, but if they think he's ready, then that's obviously what's important. But I could sort of see them going for him because obviously after Mourinho left, that's a huge severance payment for him. So I can't see them being able to afford another big name, if you know what I mean. Like I heard they were linked with Allegri, Sarri, all those sorts of guys, and I just can't see them being able to afford something like that. So I think Parker would be a realistic option. I mean, he's young, he's English, he sort of has a good idea of how he wants to play the game, and I think it's quite an attractive style of football. So, and I think at Tottenham he would have sort of the players to make that work as well. So I'd be interested to see what happens, but I do hope he stays.
Fantastic. I mean, I hope he stays, you sort of thing, like, you know, and let's hope they probably go for Nuno Espirito Santo because his name's been linked with the Spurs. Like he left Wolves the day. Well, he didn't leave. He's going to the end of the season, but I was quite shocked. I thought he'd give him another year to make a reach.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, with him, I mean, losing Jimenez is a massive blow. But listen, at the end of the day, I mean, he's made a decision. He's going to go, and I think he probably had to take a year sabbatical because he was his family back in Portugal, and then he may come back in the game season after that. Just never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a surprise. It was surprising when I saw it this morning, just because I think obviously they haven't sort of hit the heights of previous seasons this year, but I don't know if there's anyone sort of better placed to do that job than him. But it may just be personal reasons he's decided to quit. But yeah, I thought it was a bit of a strange decision. But I'll be interested to see what happens to them over the summer. Because they've got some good players in there. I think Ruben Neves would be one to look out for. See if he moves on in the window at all. I think he's going to be very, very good. Obviously, he's really, really great already, but his development will be interesting. I think he could fit in at a bigger club.
In a bigger, I think he'd be fantastic. Ruben Neves, he's absolute class. I love the way he's football. You can tackle, you can shoot from distance.
Loves a long range goal.
He does. He is quality class. World class. And I mean, that's for them. And also, I want to talk about Fulham. Can you remember? I know it's going back a long while. Sean Tegana?
Yeah, he was just before I started supporting. I think I went to my first game in 2007-8. So it was a while. I've sort of seen the videos, read the story, sort of thing, and far away, I guess.
No, I was going to say that he plays beautiful. When he took over from Fulham, he played some beautiful stuff in the Championship. Played on the deck, free-flowing football. The movement is absolutely fantastic. And
well,
you know
we had Louis Saha back then. He was banging in the goals for us. We had Sean Davis, Barry Hales, sort of a load of good players.
Yeah,
which made it easy. I think we finished on 101 points that season or something.
Yeah.
So I was only born in 2001, and that's the year we went up. So,
quite young, and then quite young.
Yeah, 20. Yeah,
20. Oh, bless you. Earlier boy, I was going to say, but I mean, you got Barry Hayes. I like Barry Hales as well. I think he's a quality player. He can't play. He's 45. He still plays football. Barry.
I think he played for Merstham for a while, which is like sort of a local team around here. I'm fairly sure. He's been really. He wasn't there when I started supporting, but I've seen the videos.
Yeah, Premiership player as well at the time. I think he's a decent player, sort of thing. Like, but I mean, I was going to say, who's been your the worst manager? Who's been the? Let me just comment quickly, sort of things. I think it's a link here. Oh, actually linked with Gale. Would you take him, Dylan? Would you take Dwight Gale?
I think we've been linked with him for about 5 years now. It depends. I mean, if Mitrovic goes, then maybe. But I want Mitrovic to stay. So if he stays, then we'll keep him. And I'd like that to happen. But if he goes, then Gale, he could be an option. I mean, now with Brexit, it's a bit harder to sort of sign foreign players. So he might be a good option. I know he was really good when you went down. That season, he was quite good. But I don't know. How old is he now? Do you know? Is he?
Dwight Gale, 31.
31, yeah. I was going to say something around that age. It might be good for a couple of years. I mean, you just don't know, do you? I mean, ideally, in an ideal world, it'd be Mitrovic would be staying. But I mean, if Gale wants to come, then not really in a position to say no, are we?
Well, the thing is, so he could have him here because he do well in the championship. Whoever gets Dwight
Yeah.
Gale would get them
Yeah,
up
he's
because
proven. He is proven, which is one thing going for him.
but I don't want him anymore. I just do want because his attitude. I always say his attitude, but his performances for Newcastle this season when he comes on the pitch, he just doesn't look interested. Do you know what I mean? He does not look at it for whatsoever. It's wrong.
That's not ideal. That's not what you want. That's
Really,
the sort
but
of thing that when I watch Fulham, you sort of want to see players that are sort of running into the ground for the shirt.
Yeah.
So having a player that is disinterested is just nothing worse because you work and then you pay money to get the tickets, and then if you see someone just strutting around the pitch, it's quite infuriating. So,
no, it is. But maybe so happy in Newcastle, but we're offering a 3-year contract as well in Newcastle. You know, problem is if we do offer a 3-year, that's a backward step for Newcastle. I do not want him anywhere near my club now. Get him gone. Sorry, but we need strikers who score goals about the net. He's good in the past, but not anymore. But he'd do well for you if he does come to you, sort of thing. So there's a few players can have as well, sort of thing. John Shelby can have as well. I care, but a decent player, but not for Newcastle.
Not for Newcastle. Yeah, there's a bit of a step up in between the Premier League and the Championship. Definitely, we had a load of players who were very, very good in the Championship who just couldn't quite cut it in the Prem. We've still got on our books now, which will be useful for next season, but not very useful at all this season. Sort of Michael Hector, Dennis Odoi, Tim Ream, who actually played on Tuesday against United, did surprisingly well. Those sorts of guys.
He's an American lad, did he? Tim Ream.
Yeah, he's 34 now, but he's played a few times for the States. He used to play for Bolton. We've had him for a while now. He's been a good servant and a very, very good defender sort of 3-4 years ago, but he's just that sort of step behind now due to his pace and his age.
That's the thing. I mean, that's Robinson as well. Looks a quality player for Wigan. He looks quality.
Yeah, he's still developing, but I think he could be quite good. I mean, right now I prefer to start Brian, and I think Brian will play on Sunday just because Robinson's injured. But Robinson, very, very, very fast. And he has got a good cross on him. So maybe you could sort of develop into a winger. I'd be interested to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on that next season, the Championship, and who knows. And guys, do smash your likes up and subscribe if you do. Any questions for Dylan, please feel free. And he'll do his best to answer them as quickly as he can. So, I mean, Dylan, who's been your best manager?
The best manager, for me, I think I can't look past Roy Hodgson. I mean, what he did for our club was amazing. Sort of taking us from staying up on the last day away at Portsmouth in 2008 to fast forward 2 years. We finished, I think, 9th in the Premier League or 7th in the Premier League and in a Europa League final in 2010 against Atletico Madrid. Yeah. I mean, we've had Jokanovic and then Parker as well, who's been very, very good. But yeah, Hodgson for me, just the achievements sort of separate him from those two.
He's a brilliant club manager. Brilliant club manager.
Sad to see him go from Palace. I mean, I hope he enjoys his retirement or best of luck in the next step or whatever that may be. I don't know if he's retiring or just taking a bit of time out.
He said he's not going to retire, though, but he just want to wait for the Premier League sort of thing. So big up to Hodgson and wish him all the best in the future because he's been decent. I like Roy, you know what I mean? But
he's tactics sometimes aren't not the most enjoyable of football at times, but he does get you the results that you need.
He does. But 73 years old now, and I figure it's Roy. I'd just put your feet up now, Roy. Look after your wife. Thing as well, do you know what I mean? And he'd be a good pundit, man. He'd be a very good pundit.
Very, 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 very knowledgeable.
He is.
So come back to Fulham, get him in a board role or something. A bit higher up.
Higher up. And you're right. I mean, there's these big six languages. I love Italian football. He managed Inter Milan, Udinese. And he was lucky Inter Milan, you know. They didn't give him time, you know. And it's a shame, really. But, you know, Italian football, Italian leagues, they can be brutal. There you go. But that's another day. So, who's been your worst manager for Fulham?
Worst manager.
One of them.
We've had a few. I might be tempted to go for Felix Magath. We had him when we went down in 2014. He'd never been relegated before, but there was all sorts of weird stories coming out. I think it was Brady Hangeland who'd pulled a hamstring, and then Magath told him to get his wife to rub it with cheese or something to make it better. So it's just weird sort of things like that coming out. Also, Claudio Ranieri, given that he won the league with Leicester, I know they had an amazing squad, but yeah, he just took us down with sort of the weirdest style of football. The fans weren't behind it. I mean, he won his first game in charge, and we thought he could be sort of the guy to turn our season around, but then it sort of just crashed and ended as quickly as it started, sort of thing. We were down. He left in February, and we were down by the beginning of April.
Wow. He wasn't very good, was he, Felix? Was not very good at that sort of thing. I mean, they got rid of him quite quickly at this moment in time. I thought that's a bad appointment, by the way. I mean, 60-odd at the time, but we have some good managers in the past, but this one there comes in, hasn't got a clue, but that's down to your own idea.
He had a good CV. I don't think he'd ever been relegated before. And I think that's sort of what sort of led the owners to appoint him was that sort of, that's like a bit like Sam Allardyce with West Brom. Never been relegated before, so maybe he'll be able to keep us up here. But it just didn't work, and it was sort of no real relationship between him and the fans either.
That's a shame, that, do you know what I mean? But that's not good. You have to have rapport with the fans. If you don't, then you're absolutely knackered from day one. Sort of thing. But like with Steve Bruce as well, but I'll come to Steve Bruce in a minute. In fact, we've got talking to him now. What do you think of Newcastle's season? And do you think Steve Bruce is the right man?
I think at times I thought we might be able to overtake you because I thought you're playing pretty badly, but obviously it hasn't panned out like that. Is Steve Bruce the right man? I would say if he can keep you up, then I don't see why you should look to replace him. I mean, he's getting the results, but it's just maybe you want to push on a bit more, sort of thing, want to develop, and maybe he's not quite the right guy for that. I think he's sort of a bit set in his ways in the way he likes to play football. I mean, you sort of saw when you drew away at West Brom and then you lost to Brighton 3-0, and there was sort of no real changes being made to the side. I know injuries probably played a massive part, but he sort of looked like a manager who'd accepted your fate already, but obviously it's turned around since then.
The thing is as well, I mean, I didn't want Steve Bruce from day number one. I want him. He even came in. I did not want Steve Bruce at all from day one. He's past it. I think he, like he said, stuck in a time warp, stuck in his own ways, and he's just plays the hoofball all the time. And you know, he says he plays great football, but he don't play great football at all. But Joe Willett and Callum Wilson made a difference. As Maximin makes a difference as well, like, you know. But at the end of the day, let's hope in the summer, after the game on Sunday, I want him gone. I want him sacked. You know what I mean? But it ain't going to happen because Ashley won't sack him. But what I would say is, if he gives him a new deal, then I think the club is done. What we need, though, Dylan, we need to take over at Newcastle. And it's going to arbitration as well. So it's going to CATS as well. So hopefully, go CATS first. We win that, then go to arbitration. We smash the Premier League to bits.
Yeah. If Bruce left, who do you think would take over?
For me, well, with a takeover, for me, I'll say Maurizio Sarri, I'll say Allegri, Simeone, and those three I take with the takeover. But without the takeover, if Bruce does score, I wouldn't, you know what? I wouldn't want to go for Van Lampard or Eddie Howe, one of the two. But Eddie Howe's going to go to Celtic, Frank's going to go to Crystal Palace, you know, but I'd rather go for a young foreign coach. If you look at Norwich, they took on Daniel Farke, right, in the Championship. Didn't quite work out, right? But they gave him another go, and look what he's done to them. He's still there. Guess what? Playing free-flowing football. Someone like him, someone like a young, up-and-coming European manager that coming to Newcastle, We got an elite stadium, elite fans. What we need is a future elite manager.
Yeah,
and on
manager to match it. Yeah,
and under Mike Ashley, all he appoints is yes men. That's all he does. No one doesn't stand up to him. And it's like Rafa Benitez. He stood up to him, right? And the bottom line is, Ashley doesn't want that at all whatsoever. And he was so scared of sacking him at this moment in time, Dillian. And then when he left, they technically forced him out the club. They allowed him to walk, right? And they got this one in, Steve Bruce. He's not my manager. He ain't my manager. He's an absolute waster. He's arrogant, interrupts an interviewer when they're asking the question, he interrupts. Yeah, he had to bust up with Matt Ritchie. He had to go at ASM, Jamal Lascelles. He lost the dressing room, but Mike Ashley doesn't even give a flying toss what it means. You know what I mean? Any other club, Dylan, they would have been sacked. But our club does things differently. You lose the fans, you lose the players, you're done.
Yeah, no, it can be quite hostile when things aren't going your way, I've heard. But, I mean, I don't know if he'll go. I think it would be unlikely for Ashley to sack him, seeing as you stay up now quite comfortably. But I don't know. I could sort of see Lampard. I could see Lampard go to Newcastle. I mean, Palace. I don't know if that'll happen or not. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you'll get something that works out for in the long term with the takeover, and then you can go from there. But obviously, it seems a long way off now, doesn't it?
Well, it's coming to the home straight. I mean, we got arbitration court case in July. How long is that going to last? I just don't know. And thing stands, I mean, for me, I don't think the Premier League want to go to court. What they probably do, they just, you know what, let's sort this out sort of thing. Let's have this takeover. If you want to take over, have it. I don't want the Premier League being embarrassed in court. Do you know what I mean? But if they go to court, they get embarrassed. Because I still believe Mike Ashley wants to sell the club. The Saudis want to buy the club, right? And all of a sudden, just get it done. And the Premier League, Richard Masters, he's saying, we're not going to block it, we're not going to approve it. They just want to drag it on and on and on. The latest thing I heard, right, they're asking for extra time so they can get more evidence, before they go to court. They're just trying to delay tactics yet again. So, for me, we need a takeover, mate. And if we don't get a takeover, our club will just simply die. It will. Because, like Ashley, have a football club, or I would face that, we have an owner who don't want to be owner of a football club, right? He first wash his hands off the club. And the club is just sinking slowly all the time. And it's so frustrating.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it doesn't just get run into the ground. I'm sure, fingers crossed, things will start to turn around for you soon.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. So, have you been linked to back to Fulham? Have you been linked to any players in the summer, or is anyone going to be leaving? I know you got a couple of loan players who back to their parent club anyway.
It's gonna be another sort of building from scratch job, I think. I mean, we've got Josh Madger on loan at the moment from Bordeaux, so hopefully he'll stay around. I mean, he hasn't quite hit top form in the Premier League, but he was with Sunderland, obviously. But hopefully in the Championship he can come to life a bit. But it's going to be sort of a mixture of loan players leaving, then maybe Mitrovic moves on to pastures new. I've seen a thing with Adam Armstrong from Blackburn, who played for Newcastle as well.
Yeah.
Apart from that, hasn't really been too much sort of transfer talk at the moment. I guess it really just depends who's going to leave and what sort of money we've got to work with after that. But I haven't seen us link with too many players. It would be interesting to see what happens. A few loans, I imagine. But I think it will be sort of trying to rebuild the core and then going from there. We'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, just to see what happens sort of thing with us. I mean, we're trying to get Joe Willock as well. He scored 6 scores straight.
Yeah, 6 goals in 6 games.
He has been absolutely magnificent. Now, the thing is, I'm also saying that they don't want to sell him. They don't want to sell him. He'd be back in the pre-season training with them. But my understanding is, I think Newcastle will make a bid for him. I think it eventually be accepted. And I think Joe Willock will become a Newcastle player, in my opinion, in the summer. I hope he is, because he is decent. We have not had a central midfielder for that.
I mean, Arsenal have got quite a packed central midfield department anyway, so the
Yeah.
potential for another loan, maybe if not going to sell him, maybe you get back in on loan. I can
Hmm.
see it happening. I mean, he's obviously quite happy at Newcastle. He's seen how many goals he can score. He gets chances, and he's sort of in the limelight a bit more.
Yeah.
So maybe I can see it happening.
Aye, let's hope so. Sort of thing. We definitely need to sort the defence out. We have conceded 62 goals, excuse me, after 37 games. 62 goals. That is, for me, according to this, that's the fourth worst in the Premier League. The
Yeah,
fourth
I don't
worst
think I think we've conceded 51 or something, so we're not quite that bad. But
we have.
maybe a 12-0 loss on Sunday, and we'll be ahead of you in that chart.
Yeah, absolutely. But then again, you got how many points you got now? Not many, 28.
28, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 28 points there. That is for you, that is not enough to stay in the Premier League sort of thing, I'm
No,
afraid. But
yeah. We got 26 last time we went down, so it's an improvement, but only marginally.
yeah, man, it is what it is. And I'll sure you're going to get some strikers. Hopefully, Josh Madja will do the business sort of thing. I've got a question
hopefully.
for So give you a quick one as well. What's this? What do you think is going to be on Sunday?
Oh, I'm gonna say Fulham are gonna win just because I would like to be positive about the game, and we've got our fans there. But I also think Joe Willock's gonna score again, so I think I'll go for 2-1 Fulham.
If he's fit, that is. I mean, he took a knock as well at the end of the game, but hopefully he'll be fit. And
yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, it's just that sort of thing, But I know it's a bit early as well. But who's going to be your 3 teams to get promoted this season? I know it's early, but
for next season from the Championship, I will go. I think Fulham.
I agree.
I'm going to say Swansea because I don't think they'll win the playoffs this season.
No.
So I think they'll be looking good to go next season if they can keep their sort of star men.
Mm-hmm.
And then who else is going down? Sheffield United. West Brom will be there or thereabouts. Brentford if they don't go up. Bournemouth. I'll have to see who goes up from the playoffs this season. But I think sort of Fulham, West Brom, 2 of Bournemouth, Swansea, Brentford will sort of be in and around the top 6, 7. Cardiff maybe. But yeah, you obviously really don't know. I could be terribly, terribly wrong and say Peterborough might win the league at a cancer, but yeah, I'd like to say it's going to be us. So, I'll go for us, Swansea and West Brom next season.
Yeah, I'll take. I think I'm going to agree with that as well. You got Bristol City on top as well. Nigel Pearson, he's a good manager. Him if he gives a backing as well, I'm sure he will. They got a rich owner, but
they do seem to have a good owner. They had a couple of our players on loan. They had Mawson and Steven Sessegnon. Yeah, so they were there this season, and hopefully Mawson will be back fit soon. And Sessegnon can continue to develop at right back. That'd be lovely.
I was going to say that. I mean, you go on to Alfie Mawson. I mean, he's the next big thing. He's a big lad as well, 6'2", and when he came to Swansea, he came to for £50 million, and like you said,
15 million. It seemed a good investment, but he can't stay fit for long enough. I think that's probably going to hinder him trying to develop in his career because they'll look at his injury record and they'll see that it's maybe not worth. He's not worth investing in. I mean, we've also got Terence Congolo, who I think's played about 3 or 4 games since we signed him in January 2020, just because he cannot stay fit.
That's the thing. You try to sign players who are not fit. We're trying to sign players who've got 12 months left of their contract. That's the problem, though, Dylan. Do you know what I mean? But we need to go for players who are ready to go. Not players that's played 20 games in 3 years. We don't want that.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
No, definitely not. No.
We had Ben Taleb as well. He used to play for Spurs, right? He hardly played for Schalke, right? So you come to us, treated us as a pre-season training, right? And it's absolutely poor, awful. He passed us the ball sideways, backwards, I thought he was going to be the next big thing, He was at Spurs. He was attacking midfielder. Play for us is nowhere near the player that he was, mate. Terrible, man. He's just absolutely a joke. I mean, now Schalke relegated in the German league,
Yeah.
so which is sad as well. So, do you like any European leagues at all? Do you like any European leagues?
I sort of keep an eye on a few of them. I mean, I like sort of watching the Barcelona games when they're on, just because Messi's so incredible to watch. I went to see last season. I went to see Rennes play PSG, and I think that was one of Camavinga's first appearances. You know, Eduard Camavinga.
Yeah.
Eduardo Camavinga. Yes, he was incredible. He was only 16.
Aye.
Um,
I quite like him.
Yeah, Serie A, some good talent in
Yay!
there. Tomori at AC Milan. Yeah, Tomori at AC Milan. I saw Man United's games against Roma this season, and AC Milan actually. But yeah, I mainly just sort of watch the English leagues.
Wow. It is what it is, like, you know, but I do love Italian football. I can watch that all day long. I love the game, love the passion. I've been to games.
Yeah, I've never been to any Italian games, unfortunately. But maybe one day, hopefully one day.
It'd be fantastic if you did, like, you know, you enjoy the experience, and it's absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? So you're going to the games on Sunday?
Yeah, going to the game on Sunday. Managed to get a ticket in the ballot, so I'll be there.
How much does it cost you?
£20, I think. So yeah, not too bad.
That's canny. That's canny price. Yeah. That like
good price. Good price when I haven't had to pay for a ticket for a year.
Let's hope your season ticket's quite cheap next season. Let's hope so.
Yeah, well, the first when we came up the first time, I renewed my season ticket in the March of 2018, and it was only £60. And then we got promoted, so I had a Premier League season ticket for £60. But now it's a bit more because I'm over 18, so the prices have shot up a bit.
Wow, it's ridiculous, these season tickets, man. I mean, if you go to Inter Milan, the season tickets sell like 280 quid for a season at Inter Milan.
That's not bad. That is not bad. Seat in the San Siro for a year.
Yeah, I mean, it works out to be like 20 odd quid a ticket, which is fantastic, I think. If you go to the Inter Juve game in the Doda Italia, I paid 100 quid for my ticket. But I always wanted to go to a game. Before that, I only paid something like 28 quid.
Yeah.
Pure look.
Big games are always going to be quite pricey, aren't they?
And they're paying money in Italy, sort of thing, if this was the big games, like, you know. So,
yeah.
And we're watching the second division ones on Sunday and Thursday. And that's between Cittadella versus Venezia. Venezia, a lovely club, mind. If you've been to Venice before, it's beautiful city. Beautiful city.
Never been lucky enough to go, but I'm hoping to go one day. It's on my tick list of places to go.
Champion stuff. Before we wrap up here as well, because I know you're a busy guy, and I was going to say to you as well that how do you think Newcastle will do next season on the boost? Do you think it's going to be a takeover? Do you think boost will be there? It's a hard question, though. But where do you think it'll be?
Can't see a takeover happening, but I'm sure it will. Well, I can't see it happening. I can still see Bruce in charge come the first weekend the next season, but I think if you can keep Callum Wilson fit, then you'll be automatically in a better position to sort of go from. So I'll say mid-table, like 11th, 12th. I think you could do it.
12th, yeah. I'm going to see you getting up. I'm going to see you finishing second in the championship.
Yeah, I don't think we'll win the league. But I don't want another playoff run, as fun as they are. But I don't think I could take another sort of round of the playoffs.
Sure. Well, we have to wait and see what happens next season, sort of thing, like, you know. But obviously, you haven't got YouTube. But where do you find you on Twitter? What's your Twitter handle?
I think it's just Dylan Chavas. That's CHAVASSE, which is my surname. So it's literally Dylan Chavas, and yeah. That's my Twitter. If anyone wants to follow me, I mean, I don't have too many followers, but it's growing. It's growing.
Fantastic. And he goes for some John Sinclair's you already follow us, and I hope the other people follow you as well. And talk about Fulham. I'll show Annie Ruda, who loves chatting about Championship football as well, which I think is great. I got Claude top right hand corner on top of my pick. Rest in peace, Claude. And I do miss the guy Arsenal Fan TV. And
rest in peace.
He's a great guy. Absolutely love him. Big up my guy. Big up the Claude. And yeah, but listen, thanks for coming on anyway, Dillian. And
Oh,
it's
no
been
worries.
fun. I've been
No
told.
worries. I've really enjoyed it.
I was going to ask you, did you enjoy coming on the show?
Yeah, really good fun. Yeah, don't get the opportunities to do too many things like this, but yeah, it's been really, really great. Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's talk more Fulham fans and give you a chat and other fans as well. And give this guy a follow if you want to chat sort of thing, talk to us sort of thing, which I think is amazing. And it's been great for you to come on, Dylan. Good luck to come on.
Thanks so much for having me.
No problem at all. And have a smashing weekend. And
Perfect.
take care.
Will do. You too, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
You too. Cheers, Dylan.
Bye.